You're a winner, baby.
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 14, Episode 14.
Catwalk.
Everywhere you go. It's so smart every season for Ru to make the song, the Catwalk song.
Yep.
Because literally first episode, I'm like, what's this crap?
Yeah.
And then by the end, I'm like, I love this song.
It's catchy as hell.
So, full spoilers. We have a top 5.
Oh,
did I call it or did I call it?
I mean, at this point, nothing would shock me.
So, okay, people love to complain. They stay complaining. I'm just sort of loving it for 2 reasons. Number 1, I get to watch this thing that I like. I get to do this thing with my friend. We get to be part of the conversation. I just like it. Number 2, the fact that Ru is constantly changing it up keeps it interesting.
No, 100%.
You quite literally have no idea what's going to happen.
Also, it's what we do on Friday nights instead of having other friends.
So I'm here for it. This was a good episode. It was the typical, not penultimate. Oh, I guess penultimate because the next one's a reunion.
Just the reunion.
But they did the Tic Tac Talk, which has become a favorite. How do you feel? Do you feel any way about that?
I think it's fine. I think it's a lot of times we even tonight, we discover things that either we didn't know or we didn't remember that we knew, like about Bosco and Bosco's mom. So yeah, I mean, I like it. I do, it gets to a certain point and it's just like, it's queens crying o'clock, like, but
no,
it's nice, and it's nice to get to know them a little better. And I like the questions that Michelle and Ru ask, where it's like, what would you tell that's at the runway. But I just, what have you learned here and stuff? It's nice.
So I actually think Ru is and Michelle, maybe even a little bit more Michelle, but I think they're very good at this thing.
Yeah.
They're good at
you don't get
asking
14 seasons in without being at least halfway decent.
But like asking questions, like it's almost like they're almost daytime TV good.
Yeah.
And because you even said we had never really, I've watched What You Packing, but I never made you guys watch it. And we watched a few episodes this season.
Yeah.
And you really liked seeing a softer, more, not necessarily thoughtful, but more.
It's just, there's no stakes at that point. The person's already been sent home. So it's like just chatting with, and plus, it's the kind of thing where you don't always understand it in the moment, but like they're on that runway for hours. They hang out with Michelle and Carson and Ross and RuPaul. They're just there. So it's nice seeing that they have an actual relationship with her.
Well, and that's what I was going to say about the Tic Tac Talk is that even what's called? I keep calling it that.
I don't know.
I think I'm thinking, I listen to Legends Only.
Hi, gay.
Oh.
And they have a segment called Tic Tac Talk.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm going into that, but
they did keep saying
Tic Tacs.
Kept saying
and it is the proper orange Tic Tacs. Yeah. But no, is what I like it is a symbolic and, well, quite literal taking down of the shield. Both Ru and Michelle, but especially Ru has an untouchable quality. And when you reach this point, it's sort of being allowed at least 1 foot behind the curtain.
Yeah, it's nice. I just like it when they're not judging anything. They are like just literally having a conversation, trying to get to know them.
But true to form, I love that Ru is still the chaos entity.
Yeah.
Because though she is very open and personal, she takes the opportunity to comfort some of the queens, and some of the others she keeps them on their toes.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one it was, but I don't think it was Bosco. It must have been Daya Betty. Someone was like getting a little too comfortable, and Ru was like, well.
Because I liked the moment with Daya where she was like, did you see yourself here? And she was like, oh, I did from minute 1. She goes, I didn't.
Don't get too comfortable.
And she just let it land like a ton of bricks. There was like no giggle after or anything.
So, but I really, really enjoy those. I think that this is a really, really good group.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about the music video. It always seems like it's going to be such a dog and pony show. And I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah.
But it always does end up sort of surpassing my expectations.
Yeah.
Especially the dance routine was good. And the scene where they were all doing the choreography on the runway, I was like, oh, this is way more dynamic than I was thinking it was going to be.
No, it was good. I mean, they're always fun. And they this time they got to have an outfit made by the seamstresses,
Mhm.
which was also fun. They got to design it.
It was interesting. Because there was even that talking head from Willow with Bosco's where you could tell that was not what Bosco was
100%,
going for.
yeah.
And Willow had to be like, it was properly made. It just wasn't.
It wasn't executed correctly.
Well, because at the end of the day, they are, again, executing someone else's design.
Yeah.
And they only have a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And so I think.
And one drawing from an amateur outfit designer.
And so I think Bosco was going for more of a like Terry Mugler,
Sure.
like structured thing, and she ended up with more of a like cosplay superhero thing, which also wasn't benefited by that wig.
No.
I
I suspect the wig might have gone better with what she intended.
no, because I thought the wig had a real wine mom
Oh,
vibe.
yeah.
I am very outspoken for how much I like Bosco, and I do, but she does have a tendency to pull a wig out
Yeah.
that I'm like, huh?
It's not quite as bad as that one Jasmine Kennedy wig, but it is like
No.
it still is. You sometimes are a little baffled by the Bosco wig choices.
Yeah. I didn't love Angeria's. It's those weird shoulder pads.
Yeah, she's done them a
done
couple
them like
times
twice,
now.
2 or 3 times. And I didn't like it then. I didn't like it when Deja Sky did it. I don't like this foam Halloween costume shoulder pad.
Well, it's also so weird because both times she's done it, she's then had stick straight
The
hair.
Casey Musgraves hair.
Yeah, and I'm sort of like, you've gotta do a bigger wig to compete with those crazy shoulders. I don't know. It doesn't.
It does make her seem a
totally
little
go.
pinheaded.
Yeah,
It,
it's bizarre. It's like the proportions get off when she does that, and I don't like it.
She was so in her head. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I mentioned this when we were watching it, but I kind of thought we were going to lose Angeria.
Mhm.
And
Especially after the critiques. Angeria got, in my opinion, the worst critiques.
well, because I started to say, I mentioned it, I think, at about our halfway point, but I was like, I'm afraid she peaked too early.
Yeah.
Like, she came in, she really knocked it out of the park immediately. And then because of the challenges, I would say, because of the order of the episodes, she sort of not
Leveled
flatlined,
out,
but
yeah.
mediumed out. Whereas, say, someone like Camden really accelerated.
Yeah.
And I think that for Lady Camden, it was a little bit luck of the draw, but also I think we were watching Lady Camden elevate in real time.
Yeah, I agree.
I think she was quite genuinely learning
Yeah.
and applying what she was learning.
Yep.
And I said something during the episode that I'll repeat here. It sounds like major shade. I don't mean it to be, but the thing my issue with Lady Camden is I think anytime that she's herself, it's kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
I think she excels when she's trying to do something else.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hate her look for the music video.
I mean, I didn't like it.
I didn't really like any of them.
Well-
I got Diabetes, but
So, yeah. And I like I said, I think that had to do with the fact that they were constructing these,
Yeah.
like, and I'm going to assume a day, I'm going to assume that that's how long. And so at a certain point, you're going to get colored spandex.
Yeah.
But I thought Daya Betty's was great.
it was good.
The second I saw her come out, I was like, oh, you're going to love this.
Yeah.
The Betty page was very apparent.
Spot on. Yeah.
And went right for Michelle.
Yep.
She got it. And also there's something about Daya that is playing the game.
I love it. I'm sorry. I love it. I think it's so smart because she, like you said, Angeria was too in her head, and Daya heard Michelle telling Angeria to crawl on the catwalk, essentially, and Daya was like, well, she didn't do it. I'm sure as fuck going to. And then she did.
And then she got the cookie.
I mean, that's not her fault for...
Manifest destiny. It's already mine.
It's not her fault for grabbing the, left open...
If you're not going to
present.
take it.
Yeah.
is good. And she really has the attitude.
Yeah.
And I think next to Willow, I think she has the most solid lock on who she is, on her character.
Daya, yeah. Mhm. I don't know. It was nice. They like each other. They're all nice. I like them.
Well, they're nice. Daya's I'm still a little bit of a bitch, but
Betty's
I
a little
love it.
shady, but
It's like an old friend.
they have
I'm like-
also come to
Yeah.
to like it about her.
They also do, the show does it a lot. because when she said the fuck our drag,
Yeah.
that's a thing. That's
Yeah.
like a catchphrase.
Yeah.
And the show played it like she meant it. I mean, she maybe meant it a little bit.
Well, you can mean it a little and still be just in good fun.
But like I said, I think it goes back to because she has such a handle on who she is and what she's doing. I think that's why it really, really worked. Willow also said something really shady. And I don't remember what it was.
She stays doing that, and it is
so funny.
Satisfying as hell.
It's so funny. I don't remember what it was. I'm kicking myself.
Because you likened it to the we
love Jasmine so much. We've come to love her so much, but we're all at peace with her leaving.
Amazing. Mwah, mwah, mwah. So funny.
It's so insulting, but it's nothing. It's is it Niecy Nash that says it, or is it maybe Wanda Sykes? It's like if you insult someone the right way, they won't know it till they got home.
Yeah.
It's like, what did she say to me?
Yep.
So
way to do it if you gotta.
Here's the runway. It was a good runway.
It was a really good runway.
It was a really good runway. Although I love this part because it's just like the glamour looks.
Yeah.
But first, RuPaul came out.
Oh.
The doors Maddie Morphosis has opened. I just think it's kind of the nerve
of RuPaul. Yeah.
So, okay, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved what RuPaul was wearing.
I mean, it's fine.
You were like, ooh, and then you were like, oh.
Yeah. I don't love busy contrasting patterns.
I love it because it was so busy.
Oh, okay. If
it were a third less, I would be like, ugh, that's hideous.
Okay.
But because there was so much, I was like, this is amazing. It was just a rainbow. It was like a rainbow quilted kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
And the top was so interesting, the way it was structured.
Well,
there
so
was like tiny sequins.
That's when I said, ooh, is because I saw the top. And then I took in the skirt and I was like, ugh.
Well, because everyone went out of their way to talk about what Maddie wore, that it was the worst thing that's ever been on Drag Race. And I was like, I think she sold it with the gimmick of the hoedown.
She tried.
I mean, in a world where La Rie's bag look exists.
That's true. Super true.
But so no, I loved it. And then the wig, it's a very standard wig for Ru.
Yeah.
But if it ain't broke. And then the makeup she had like
always.
9 colors on her face. It was incredible.
And the like canary yellow on the inside of the eyes. Yeah.
So, okay.
So, okay, I love this. My only complaint is I hate the way the boobs hover. Yeah.
So I actually kind of like the hover boob, but I wish the sides
were cinched properly.
And I think it's the point because not one of them said anything. So I think it's intentionally a little bit
gaping.
But there is something about it that it
like it's a beautiful silhouette. It's beautiful colors on her. The like sort of half Madonna like thing is very cool, but it just there was something ill-fitting about
there was something that just
bummed me out.
And it's as talented as these people are, and they are extremely talented, it is not haute couture.
Yeah.
And so if it were haute couture, that the looseness I think would have worked in a way that this it gave it just a slight costumey vibe. I still think it's like an 8.5 out of 10.
No,
I
it's
love
great.
it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Bob Mackie. I love Bob Mackie. And I feel like we're at a place because he got real passe. And I feel like we're at a place where it kind of is coming back.
All the shit things from the 90s, which equals all the shit things from the 70s, are coming back around. So,
and I agree. The wig here was great. And I really did like this one. I
did like this. She made a comment about like she really trimmed it down. She didn't do any like rhinestones or anything. It was just blah, blah, blah. And you made a point that you were like, I think you needed the rhinestones. And I don't necessarily think she needed the rhinestones, but this is not what I would call a showstopper look. To me, it doesn't do anything really.
It's a great look.
It's a great look. But to me, it doesn't do anything wildly different than she's already done before. I would have maybe tried a different
So in that regard, the wildly different is the simplicity.
Fair enough. And I do love all of the like this for sure. I guess I almost wish it didn't have the ruffle at the bottom. Like if it just went down at the bottom and then the ruffle was only here, I might like that better.
I would like to see it. I don't know if I feel that way. I think it's beautiful, but there's I think it's missing a wow factor
Maybe
that this runway needed.
It should have like a splash of color somewhere.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because to the jewelry, I was like, it needs a statement piece, but I don't know where that would be because
bracelets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say it would be the neck, and that neckline doesn't.
You can't do a necklace there.
And I don't know that I think it needs a belt
or an arm cuff. Maybe you wouldn't be able to see a belt with this over top.
Maybe like a weird sash.
No,
belt,
not with that.
No, like a chain belt. Like I don't know.
Oh no.
There was something that I like I said, it's very beautiful, but given this runway at this point, like what this is, because it's supposed to be now is your moment. And I think it was
a little underwhelming. It
leaves something to be desired.
Despite how beautiful it is, it was a little underwhelming.
Love that hair color on her, though.
The blonde.
She wore it last week, and I think it's better here.
Yeah. And I do actually love her little fascinator with the feather.
So I will say that is a pop that I think it needed.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your take? You didn't like it at first.
Okay. I hate it. But it works.
I love it. So when they were doing their makeup, I noticed that they all had very pretty makeup on at the point we were. And I was sort of like, are we going to get it? Is this going to be the straight glam look from Daya? And I set you up for failure.
You did.
Had I not said that,
I'm not blaming you, but I also, it's like, I don't love this buttery yellow color on her.
It's so ugly. I love
ugly.
it. No, but that's it.
I get it. No, that's the thing. I get it. And it 100% works. And it's like super Daya Betty. She sold it.
Told a story.
The bustle in the front is hilarious. It's all weird and Bernie. I love it, but I think it's hideous.
So the thing for me, I love, because like I said, told a story. I love the details because especially on the top, the like singeing was actual jewels.
Oh, okay.
It's not just singed. That black is black jewels.
That's
and
pretty
black
cool.
diamonds.
Yeah.
And even the choker, it started yellow and then they turned to black. And all those little details is when I was like, okay, no, I actually kind of love this. And I still maintain I would love to see her just do straight glam at least
I swear to God,
once.
if she doesn't do it
she's not gonna.
For one look in the finale, you're killing me.
She's not gonna. But I think this is very her.
Yeah.
And I think it allows her to stand out.
I mean, I can't argue with that. And like I said, I'm with you. I like the story it tells. I think it's, it works. I just hate it. So that's where I'm at. Okay. Fuck all the way off.
Oh!
This is stunning. This is, okay. I still think there is a chance for Daya Betty to actually sweep through and take the whole thing. But Camden's my girl. I want Camden to win. And this is why.
This might be my favorite look of this
because
season.
She's also done silly shit. And I think that's my favorite kind of drag, when you can do this and you can do the silly shit and they both work.
She has such a face that like she's not always pretty, but she can be. She is so pretty here. This is so glamorous. Yeah. The cold never bothered me anyways.
Yeah.
Emma Frost, white diamond. This the gloves with the sleeve, and it's just sequins. It's just sort of those like structured sequins that were popular in like the 80s and 90s, but it looks so good.
It's in such a pattern, and this like asymmetrical neckline that comes up almost in the middle but not quite. I don't know.
And her figure, it just sort of,
and the earrings and the
headpiece, the wig. This is gorgeous. Yeah. I love this so much.
I'm obsessed. I also love the high.
She looks like a Barbie.
The high slit, but then with the like kind of bustled skirt in the back, almost. It's
her figure.
This was my favorite look of the night.
Well, like I said, might even be my favorite of the season. But I'm very classic that way. Yeah. Classic glamour.
Okay. So I know I said the previous one was my favorite look. However,
Why?
I don't know.
Why is she a mouse?
Why not? Why shouldn't she be a mouse?
No, I love it. I think we were watching Bob, and Willem was like, we're coming in on like 2,000 looks have graced this stage.
Yeah.
And to do something that hasn't been done before.
Yep.
And here she is. What is this, like the 7th time she's doing something that hasn't been done before?
It's unreal. And it's so funny.
It's so strange. And yet also fits the prompt.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
a pretty gown.
It 100% is.
How she managed to make this a pretty gown? I
genuinely love everything about it. The coloring is exquisite.
So you pointed out
the pink, the like mauve gloves for like little well, she said rat, but she's a mouse. The little mouse claws. She's wearing red contacts, and then she almost has like a bluish gray hue to her makeup. I mean, it's unbelievable.
When you said that, I was like, that's it for me.
Yeah.
Is the blue tint keeps it from looking like a gray blob.
Yeah.
And it really, because it also gives, and this is high praise for me, it gives me that Jennifer Lopez dress that I loved so much.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
With the nipples.
Yep.
Oh,
that's a good one. That's a good J.Lo dress.
Oh my God, it was so good. That entire Oscars, they filmed her like this.
Yeah, they sure did. But the pictures are on
And
Getty Images.
She had those mink eyelashes that you could like see. But no, the fact that it is so campy, that it is a costume, and yet it still is couture, it still is elevated, it still feels like and I know this isn't the finale, but like the finale runway, yada yada. It's so good.
Love it. And she's just and then she went like totally dead-eyed when they were like Team Willow.
So we did mention it's a top 5.
Yep.
They lip sync to Telephone, Lady Gaga and Beyonce. It's so funny because the whole time we were watching it, I was going to bring up that song because I was like, Lady Gaga doesn't really like it.
I don't get it.
And then I was like, maybe I made that up because that can't be true. And then Rachel got home from work and we wound it to show it to Rachel. And Rachel was like, I can't believe Lady Gaga does like this song. And so I was like, so I didn't make it up.
Unless you told Rachel.
That is possible to be, if we're being honest. I do make shit up all the time. Not intentionally. I'm just like, sounded right at the time.
Sounds correct.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so theatrical.
Yep.
It tells a story. And like I said, because this was what, like 2 years, maybe a year and a half into her career, because it was when they re-released, it was like the Fame Monster, which was like a part re-release, part second album.
Yeah.
And to have Beyonce and to have her not overshadow you.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
I can't wait for some Gen Z Yahoo to come into our comments like that fucking Sin City one and be like, oh, the acting is like so bad in that.
I might cut that, but
come for me.
It is intentionally heightened.
Yeah.
It was Willow and Angeria, who we should have seen it coming because they were making a big deal about how they were like each other's best friends the whole like episode. And they were so weird that because it started and Angeria had the harp.
Yeah.
And Willow, I don't remember what it was, but she did something with her face. And it actually, to me, it reminded me, it wasn't quite as good, but it reminded me of Ginger Minge and Mayhem Miller.
Oh.
The Where the Hell's My Phone?
Yeah.
It wasn't quite that good, but you could tell. I love it. It has to be organic. It can't really be engineered, but I love it when there's no bad blood between the queens.
And they have to lip sync.
And they just sort of end up making it work.
Yeah.
Like they end up making it an art piece and rather than a competition.
I agree.
And the face work that Willow was doing, her dancing with that dress.
Yeah.
It was so funny, her gathering the dress to dance.
Yeah.
And the way she was just sort of like stomping and like...
She was doing a whole Lady Gaga in that video. It was working so hard.
And Angeria didn't let her show her up.
Yeah.
It
was great.
It was fun. It got my blood going.
Yeah. It was a good one.
So... so then it is a top 5. I am fairly certain that's the first time ever.
Yeah.
I did mention, I read today that they have upped the prize money. It's going to be $150,000. And for the first time, I think they're doing a $50,000 runner-up prize.
Cool. I do also, we have to acknowledge that they all got just off stage and then started shrieking at each other, and it was so funny.
It was very, very funny. So yeah, I wonder what we're gonna have. A lot of looks. We're gonna have 15.
Yeah,
if they do the three like they did.
Yeah,
man, that's gonna be. It's apparently they're filming it live from Vegas.
Oh,
from the Flamingo Ballroom where they do the drag show, because it's been in that theater in the LA for so long.
Cool.
So I still hope that there's I'm assuming it's going to be a return to form with all the guests and stuff.
I would
kind of
imagine
can't
at least
wait.
a little, yeah.
It was fun last year with the cars, but
yeah.
And with the being outdoor, it really made it interesting.
Yeah.
But Untucked was fun. They just really sort of talked and shared.
They had a game of charades trying to like do like one thing from some of the other queens. It was so funny.
That's what it was. Willow's impression of Deja Sky. The shade.
She's so shady. I love her so much.
We were like, oh!
Yeah, it was a lot.
Because I genuinely never noticed it until she did it.
Yeah.
But she was like,
yeah.
And I was like, she does make that face at the end of every runway.
A lot.
Oh my God. So, who are you rooting for?
Okay. Well, Lady Camden or Daya
So,
Betty.
okay, hold on. I'm making you pick one. Pick one.
Who do I want to win the most?
Okay, that's what I was going to do. Because I was going to say, okay. I think Willow's going to win.
Okay.
I don't know.
I cannot decide. I literally can't decide.
I think I'm rooting for Lady Camden. There's not one of them that could win that I would be upset by.
Not at all. I do kind of think it's between those three, though. I think it's between Lady Camden, Daya Betty, and Willow. I think it's those three. Like,
part of me wants to see Daya Betty win. Yeah, I would just sort of love that.
Yeah. Well, you said when we were watching Bob
and Willem.
Willem was like, we haven't had a villain win.
Bob said that. Or Bob was like, we haven't had a villain with Violet Chachki, and I was like, part of me is like, girl, you came this far.
Yeah.
Because like I said in I think it was the Daytona Wins challenge.
Yeah.
I was like, I think this might be the first contestant I've ever seen just will a victory.
Yeah.
Like through her sheer force of will alone.
Mm-hmm.
She's bending the drag universe to her.
I don't know, man. I definitely think it's between the three of them. Out of the three of them, I think I've seen the most growth from Lady Camden. Mm-hmm. So if we're going on a growth trajectory, I think Camden.
Willow has a real narrative.
She's got a real Evie Oddly shot at it.
Well, the poetic justice, Willow.
Yeah.
Poetic irony, Daya Betty.
Yeah.
Actual, like, rags to riches, Lady Camden.
Yeah.
I think Bosco and Angeria are the dark horses. I love them. I mean, Bosco was my girl for a very long time. I still love Bosco. I just don't know that she's the victor.
They both stumbled into the finish a little.
Yeah. So that's sort of my thing. So yeah, I'll keep it that way. I'll say poetic justice, Willow. Poetic irony, Daya. Rags to riches, Lady Camden.
Yeah, I dig it.
The world is your runway. Bye. Like and subscribe. Thumbs up. Give us patrons and attention and applause and money and likes.
We'll be back next week to talk a little bit about the reunion, probably.
I can't remember. Do they do Miss Congeniality on the reunion?
No, finale.
They do it in the finale? Okay.
They did last year anyway.
So we'll see. I'm actually so excited because they usually bring it out for the they bring it out for the finale. I don't remember.
They bring it out for the reunion.
And we're going to see Cornbread again. I'm so excited. And Maddie, I love Maddie. Maddie's been killing it on social.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.